Yo, what's going on? It has been a pretty good delay from the last video. I've been sleeping, resting, and rethinking certain components of what we're doing here. So, the biggest delay was the autonomous error resolver, which I'm going to switch over once this last command finishes running up. The switch from React and Fast API to Elixir and Phoenix was not a smooth process. We have lost 2 days trying to get Elixir and Phoenix to work together. One of the biggest reasons for that is the process of actually converting those things over to Elixir is pretty complicated. It doesn't mean it cannot be done, and it still will be done because the error resolver has been upgraded to be a converter, so it'll go page by page, save as it goes, write as it goes. But the error resolver kind of was the monkey wrench in everything, because with wanting to have all those logs, because to feed an error resolver you have to have it sucking up logs, or it has to have access to error logs. With Elixir, it was perfect. It was almost the error resolver was running at its most optimal performance. The issue in comparison between what I imagine and the tech stack of Python and Fast API is that it's kind of simulating concurrency, versus Elixir is literally like in the backbone of it. Like the data is, everything is going to flow through this pipe. So had to stop with the conversion because, one, even if I were going to convert Clajama to Elixir, we need to have the Fast API and React version running flawlessly. That way it can literally just go through, read the algorithm or the code and say, okay, well, I'll just switch it over to this. And the thing about Elixir was that the code was so minimal that I could load the whole program into memory and operate on it with the LLM. Versus with the Fast API, there's so many files and so many places and so many different things to make up this amount of code that I can only do it in like sections. So I can work on the database portion of it, the project compatibility portion of it. But I also kind of hacked Aider chat to run autonomously. So it'll pretty much, I tell it an error and it'll just run until it burns up its max token allotment. And then I just clear it out and then run it again. However, I am very happy that the user interface is back up and running. It has degraded a bit. So before there were, different little things added in. The error resolver had a live view. We had to cut a lot of stuff out that was just kind of going away from the main purpose. It extended from just being an application builder and editor to it has a business lobe where it will write content that is SERP, webmaster regulated. So it applies the rules of search engines into the content. It actually makes in-depth content, adds images, use the realistic schedule. And at this point, like I said, we're going to go ahead and start because I have to convert websites over to the new system before next year anyways. I've been doing it manually. Well, kind of prompting back and forth with the LLM to get it done. But the main thing is the actual building and pulling and migrating the websites. That's the tool I need right now. I got a few more commands to run. API router, attempted relative import with no known parent package. Let's see what's going on. All right, so it says that it's available in port 3001 now. 3001. Hold on 1 second. It says permission denied. So, like I said, once I pull over, the error resolver is being fed errors from the front end to the back end. Because the front end is something completely different. So I see on the other computer, permission denied, and it does say that it's supposed to be 3001. Says here there's in the app main line 64 there's an error here. I am so ready to get back to creating, dude. I mean, this is creating, but I want to see what we're doing. I want to see it. I want to see what we've done. It's been almost 3 or 4 days with absolutely no progress. Kind of just testing different things, seeing what does and doesn't work, what's the fastest. But we have to get on Elixir. It's almost not even optional. After seeing how that vein works for the output, but now I gotta see what's going on. So yeah, let me go ahead and pull up over here because it's taking a moment for this command to finish running. Check if database. All right. All right. So as you can see, it's a lot of files in here. It is a crap ton of files. Still need to figure out, which it seems much cleaner now. Agents, app log, backend log. Still need to go through here and clean up. It says something about the database. So what I'm going to do is we're going to go ahead and come over here. Let me try to stay on point with. I had to refresh all the keys all over again. So what I want to do is let's get add database.py, add source / components / app star. No, and it says database.py is no longer in here. Data models, so we don't, if for some reason it's somewhere, it's not even in here no more. We don't have a back end, there shouldn't be a back end. So legacy source, this can actually go. Projects, Clajama's been. This can go. I didn't want to use that. Alright, and so it's run successfully initialized. Error funnel 3 deterministic filters ready. LLM is last resort. Application startup is complete. And like I said before, I'm going to put the SSL back to it. It says 8,000 now. Clajama.com for 8,000. Yeah, so we're back. Need to fix this. A lot of these pages here are supposed to be in here, which they do exist, as you can see. Well, we'll wait for that to be done. We're gonna go ahead and do a run through so we can see these errors popping from front end to back end. Logins. All right, so everything came at 200. My projects, we have none, and I'm just watching it on the other one because I have so much crap on these computers that they will burn down. Index me, create an index.html or hello world. Autonomous error resolver is kicked in. Let me see what just happened here. Critical, failed to create nginx include directory. An unexpected error occurred. Sudo password not configured. So we're gonna go ahead. Now we gotta give Clajama sudo privileges. And this should crash right now. Yeah. So really close. Like I said, I need this to be stable. I need this to be where once it's opened up, you don't have to risk losing your stuff. I don't have to do any random test and be like, oh, this doesn't work anymore. We need to get this to the beta version. And we'll use our free version to compete or to enter into the market. And it's crazy. I've shown it to people, and there are always going to be people who still just don't want to do anything. So, like I always tell people, I wouldn't be afraid of AI. AI is basically the computer now. It's the operating system, and it's best to just accept it. Because imagine like 10, 15 years ago when there was no, well, you got to go even further than that. When there was no graphical user interface and everything had to be terminal based. Imagine how much money those people made. And then imagine how they felt when the graphical user interface came out. Then imagine how rich the people who did graphical interfaces got. And they still needed those back-end people. And then as we keep moving forward, the AI is a useful tool. And I don't know, I think people kind of get afraid of there's so many people competing. Oh, there's no need for my service anymore. Everything that everyone does, there's still a service for it. You have to pivot. Like even for CDs, when CDs went out of business, they could have easily I can't say easily, but if they would have pivoted to like a MP3 library, or if they would have pivoted to cloud storage, or if they would have pivoted to a service where all of your CDs can be ripped and turned to MP3s. You know, it just depends on how you pivot. And so we're waiting to see this pop back up. And we definitely want to get these pages. Let me show you guys something kind of cool. It's kind of weird, kind of lame, but it's my next vision I have for the homepage. Where are we at? It should be in Perplexity. It's just reaching out. All right. Let me see. What did I name that? It's life. Give life.py. Clajama life. No, it's give life. So what I want to do on the homepage. I'm on the wrong computer. It's on my other computer. But there is a avatar I've created. Let's go ahead and just make another one while we're waiting for this to on the other computer. Like I said, the other computer runs much better, just running just straight doing this, and this one that I'm on now is just better for so what I'm gonna do, or what is happening now, is we're going to give Clajama a character. We're gonna give Clajama a sprite. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna animate this sprite so that it's a representation of what's going on in the back end. It's a representation of the autonomousness that I want to create or simulate. And the whole goal is to have this character, which I kind of like that character, but then I don't. Let me see if I could get our homepage. Let's keep the grid size. Let's make the character something else. Something friendly, makes you want to take care of it, and has excellently loopable. I don't even think that's a word. Loopable. Sprite frames. Keep the background color solid and consistent, so we can just map. All right, let's see. So it made a directory. A dragon. I don't want a damn Pokemon. Let's make it more AI based. I don't really want a dragon. Let's see, not a creature. Something more personified. I like that one a little bit. Let me man. Add command output. Yes. 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 And we should be, yeah. All right. So settings are back. Let's get this package. We need these packages. So yeah, we got to kind of go back through square packages. packages needed completion. And what I'm actually, oh yeah, and this is what I'm doing. This is what the testing is for. The autonomous error resolver is supposed to be able to see when I come through here and click these buttons, what does and doesn't work. What isn't doing what it's supposed to do. Hello. Let's build it. A new project. Dexter. Create a basic unstyled index. Alright, if it leads us back to here, yeah. So it's not saving any of our projects. The good part about it is, like I said, the autonomous error resolver is supposed to be in the background, working on these pieces, which I'm gonna go check. Okay. All right, and let me log in again. Okay, we got all 200s. New project. Dex. Create a simple unstyled index.html. Launch. Says okay. My projects. I'm just, like I said, just clicking around. I want these errors to go into. Change my name. Successfully. Says. I see it. Okay. Only thing I'm not seeing about is these websites. So IEC, HTTPS, integrity, exterior, method. Yep, I'm seeing that 405 error on the backside. Import started successfully. So one thing is saying it is, the status is saying it ain't. We're still not saving any projects. All right, perfect. And yeah, it's pulling everything from the front end log. Pulling, just gonna echo real quick. It says everything's healthy. So what I have to do is, let's see, we are not saving any of the user's data. Not the projects. Now let me sign on and see if my name still stays updated. Yep. Not the projects. User profile. The database aspect of this program is highly flawed. And this is what stopped us in the first place. Let's see. So what I'm gonna do is we're gonna run Python 3 map code base. All right, that's going. The map code base command on the back end is what goes through, reads every file, identifies its placement in the directory, and then it goes through and it maps the routes. So we can pretty much every file it touches, it can say, oh, is this in the right place? Or if there's an error, it can say, oh, I see the file does exist. It's just I'm pointing to the wrong spot. Once the database section is clear, we're gonna start building, or get back to building, because we've already been here before. Dashboard projects, and then put the import into here. And I'm gonna take every version of this code and combine them into Google, because I got Pro. and see if it can identify what's missing. As in, over all the versions that I've created, there were features that along the way fell off. Hang on 1 second. Read program text. We are not able. We are having a database issue. Saving users name. Users updated name. Project created. Nothing is saving to the server. We do not want an in-memory database at all. And the reason we don't want one at all is because if somehow the program outmaneuvers us, we'll put it that way, and puts an in-memory database in, and we don't know it or identify it, we'll be consistently saying things that aren't true. This is one of the biggest reasons why we kind of have gone backwards. We've gone backwards because DeepSeek is not actually fluent in PostgreSQL. And I can't really say that with full conviction that is true. I think, and now that I'm rethinking about it, we never really cleaned out all those duplicates, all those errors. Like even now, this is as clean as I have gotten it back to by tearing out the duplications, the sabotage, all the XYZ stuff. Just finally today. Like that's why I'm back streaming, because before I had nothing to show other than the fact that this don't work. And it all stemmed from little Google sabotage going on. That's where it really all came from. And I don't know, Google's doing all right. It's doing better today. I just want to get our program up and running, man. I want to have people building. I want people to enjoy this. That way I can enjoy it even more. Forgot I switched over to this computer. The other one's still inside, but I do want to do one thing the most. And that's not all it is. Even though I did do all this work, even though I did build all of this, or pretty much project manage all of this, I still want to make it to where people can utilize it. So, gonna put an API out there. API is already cooked in. And so, for example, let's just say somebody else is working on some software. They're like, man, it just doesn't work, man. It just keeps messing up. you can utilize the API and implement the autonomous error resolver into your own program, which is really, it's pretty close to being done. For me, the hardest part is keeping it from hard coding everything. And I think the thing that, or the biggest weakness about LLMs is they don't understand an LLM. So like if you say, hey, we're going to be coding and we're going to implement an LLM, a lot of stuff you wouldn't even hard code. Like depending on what you're doing, you wouldn't have to be hard coding so much stuff. I mean, and now that I think about it, it's two ways to do it, because you could go ahead and use the LLM to hard code it and now you have it, or you could just pretty much embed the LLM and be like, well, let the LLM be the algorithm for this specific thing. Like for example, instead of I think this would be crazy. So like for example, instead of fully programming a calculator, you could just send the output to the LLM, or the input to the LLM, get the output, and then just get the answer back. Sure, you're going to use a lot of tokens to do that, but like if a token is really cheap. Okay, all right, so it's doing updates right now. So if a token is really cheap, it really wouldn't matter if you had to use a LLM to just go, what's 1 + 1? Answer is 2. What's 3 + 4? That. You wouldn't have to actually code the logic of the actual logic. You would just pretty much say, all right, well, LLM, take this input, whatever the symbol is, you pass that through them, and pretty much just ask the LLM, hey, what's 40 times 9? And oh man, I went over my token count. Let's see. What was that? Yeah. So right now, the issue was that PostgreSQL was a little too complicated for like a raw implementation. So it's not that it can't be done, but if I'm on a time limit and I already used the AI to build a basic application, like if I restarted today and I was like, all right, and I would have said that from the jump, it could build it along with that. But when it's starting to take into account all of the data points, all of the data pieces that are missing, it becomes a little bit more complicated. But it's not complicated for the LLM. It's complicated in the sense that if you were to build a algorithm or some sort of system, you would need to manage context. So you could really tell, like, you'd have to program it to really read every file, or you'd have to already have a map saying what files are, or do a search to see where PostgreSQL or whatever is mentioned. And then you'd have to do a search for your data points. So like username, password, date of birth. And then you have to also keep the same spelling and camel casing and the same word. And it's a lot, you know. And I really want to take the error resolver and go outside of this. So once we actually have it to where it's building the little programs, generating for people, doing the updating, the basic parts of what I've always done, and taking that part out for me, I want to make the error resolver something really. It's going to be my pivot project. So once we get Clajama up and it's building sites for people who don't know how, it's running their business load, and that's another thing that I don't see here. My admin menu, so I need to put this, need completion, admin menu, is not showing up for send Claron email at gmail.com. It will change, like I said, a lot of stuff will change later on. We're missing logs. And let me check, because there's been a lot of creating things and deleting things. Yeah, it's right there, but let me check source. Managers, components, blog page. Yeah, so there's still a lot of pages it hasn't even touched, or pages that need to be worked in. Yeah. Oh, like I said, once this other computer, SQLite 3, I want to make sure it doesn't do pull. Error, tables and database. One sec. All right, well, this is good. We found out why I forgot I even tried to import a website. Clajama asset static code, Axios error code, error bad request. Where it says it failed to import the website. The method was not allowed. Let's grab that. That's really important. Dang, see, I need this other terminal to stop on this other computer so we can get to kicking, but I don't want to be kicking two at once. You know, let's go ahead and run with it. We done made mistakes before, so it ain't gonna be the end of the world. Alright, so what we'll do is what is it trying to do? That's what I need to make sure I understand. The website import, and I think that's a page. Import website. Where is it? I think it's in utilities. And it might be migration view. See, and then there's pages. No, it's we're right, that's right. That is that. And let me look at what I was saying. The method is not allowed, so that's going to be a little bit deeper than that. That's going to be website importer. So let's add the website star. Let's add the program star. Let's add source slash components slash MIG migration. Uh, let's see what else. It's so many. Oh, we got a low battery. And this one dies quick too. This one will straight up just go bye bye. We need to make sure this Nginx config is straight. Like there's some components that are just core components. If you get those right, Nginx star.conf. Gotta go get a charger. I need one like ASAP. I need one ASAP. And let's take these admin routes with us. Alright, this other one is still running commands. It's trying to run the database. Sudo app install. Command import not found, but can be installed with. Yeah, let's just go ahead and run these dudes so we can have them already in here. Let me. Oh my goodness, bro. I need two screens. I have the setup, but I don't have it together. Yeah, so this other computer is gunning it right now. This other one is doing what gotta be done. And I don't want it to crash the live. We finna get back into what we normally do, folks. I'm installing image libraries on the other one, on the other computer. I'm waiting for the LLM to stop talking. Hit no to these. All right, on this side we're done over here. I just need to see what it did, and let me just get this one to run. Start. Clajama.sh. I think that's how you. Nah, it's. I think it's a space here. Clajama's Vim activate, no such file directory. Oh, that's whack. Sudo, dang. So I'm trying to get back over to the other computer. What we need to do now is add the start _ star. And what we need to do is we do not want a. Let's see. So this is what happened. So I ran two different commands, and I was like, we want to have the virtual environment for Clajama to be called Clajama_Vim. But I was already running code telling it to put it in Vim, and then I went back and told it don't put it in Clajama Vim, use Vim. So I confused it. We need to ensure that we are on the same page. We are not naming the Vim, we'll just say, yeah, because I don't want a virtual environment Clajama Vim anymore. For simplicity, it is just Vim. Yeah, so I that's my fault. I do want to turn on the error resolver, but we still got software coming in. So as I said before, why is this error resolver so important? Why are we not building websites, and why are we not just generating all kinds of stuff right now? The error resolver was made for the import website, and the import website is made because I have many websites on WordPress. I have built everything with a chainsaw, and it was just because it was easy. I mean, it was easy, but long term you have to go in there and do the updating. You can do auto updating, but like I said, if you have customers or you have more people stuff than what belongs to you, there's a lot of errors where people are calling you. And I always recommend WordPress because it's open source, so you can just tell somebody, hey, look, you know what, you can duplicate all these other expensive systems, these $40, $60, $90 a month minimum systems, and get your idea out there and save money long term. But if you're like I have money, because when you tell somebody something costs like $30 a month, I know people who have money who $30 a month is like, I mean, it's just because it's still money. They just be like, $30 times 12, and they don't really comprehend the offering of it. But WordPress, you could just, hey, here's a $5 VPS. Boom, you do. That's it. 5 times whatever. That sounds like a great deal. That's less than Netflix. People don't care about no $5. You say 30, they're like, that's a tank. That's a tank of gas. But anyways, the other computer seems to be ready. Let me run the start. And I don't know if yes, the mic's still on. Let me run the start. And we can, oh wait, I gotta get back in the virtual environment real quick. Oh, this one's still going. What is this one trying to ask for? It's asking for a connection. I'm like telling it, dude, no, please just stop doing that. It's trying to do a connection, print tables into. It's trying to check about tables in the database. No, you're done doing all your retest and test overs and test. Address is already in use. Run the shell command again. You gotta kill it though. Starting server, waiting for server to be ready. Then it's gonna say server's already running on. Boom, there we go. Alright, so we should be in. It's not an agent. We out on stop the server kill. Oh, let me go back up. 8,000. Yeah. Connect. Oh, I killed the connection. I killed the next connection. And I'm not gonna run start production. Installing environment. There we go. Autonomous error resolver started successfully. Application startup. All right, there we go. Then we're gonna hit SSL. All right, so we're done on this side. Let's start working on the autonomous error resolver together. Let me go down here. All right. So we're gonna pop open. So now we all in the same. Let's put this over here. This computer usually crashes when I do this. Or just starts to jam up. But I'm pretty sure y'all already understand. Where is terminal? Alright, so terminal, battery is going to die if we don't plug it in. Oh man, does he take the risk? No. Let me be right back. We'll be right back. Wow, that pizza is so good. Had to grab one of those in the charger. Anyways, this is the autonomous error resolver, which you may know. Actually, let me move it down one. Oh, my eyeball. All right. So the way this works is that the autonomous error resolver eats up the errors on the front end and back end, and then uses the LLM to fix them. The architecture is hospital, which would mean somebody does a diagnosis, somebody has to sit in the waiting room. Where is, oh, where, oh, where? Where are you at? Green. All right, there we go. Gotta go to the top. My bad. Kill it over there. Hang on, I gotta kill ports. And let me add all these because I want to have all these swapped out. I'm gonna run start all, start server, or any start command. It should always kill whatever is on the port. It should always kill whatever is on the port because it's simply Clajama restarting or reloading or needing to be reloaded. So I'll probably give it a little brain power. Oh, there it is. Hold up. I'm using old commands. There we go. All right, so error funnel. All right. So it looks like that 404 error is because I'm trying to open a file manager for something that don't exist. Yo, so all right, I'm back. Where we at? So it did create the file this time. Now it says something about 24 files. I gotta see what's going on over there. All right, so that's a lie. That is a lie. Need to put that down. File count details. Yeah, so if you actually go back and watch the videos where I had already solved all these problems, we kind of got really delayed by the sabotage that happened. Cause this is like we're actually like minus this backup that I could actually use and recover is probably a week old. Probably a week old. I do have newer backups. But like I said, once I started passing stuff around, and then after we did the comparison between the agents to see who's telling the truth, it was a lot of code in there that was set up to look like it worked, and it wasn't working. I'm not talking about the actual build process. We're talking about like logging, some of the high automations that I wanted to do, that they were kind of padding them out and hiding them. But yeah, let's see what we can go ahead and get with this right here. And we do need to do another UI. No project, it's ready. What's the holdup? Don't you have our key? You don't have our key? All right, 1 second. Where's our key? Where's my API key? Oh, and if we get some more song credits, I'm gonna do that song for that music generator thing. Where's my API key? Alright, so bring your own key. We had already accomplished all of this before, but it did take out the duplicate the duplication of the key. Let me go ahead and see what happened over here. The configuration. Refresh. Bring your own key. Control V. I click off of it. It don't seem like it's saving my key. And projects. Dashboard. And this user interface has really got to, there we go, got a method not allowed. Okay. Alright. So we got a method not allowed. Failed to start development, method not allowed. And I do want to see, has the error resolver gone quiet? What is it doing? That's something that the admin is supposed to be able to see as well. Failed to start development, method not allowed. All right, so I need to hop on. Like I said, I have to keep hopping back and forth. And the training of it is, if it's not detecting the method not allowed. So it is fixing. Let me clear out of here. We have a method not allowed in the front end errors. Has the autonomous error resolver seen this? And if so, what is it doing? And why haven't we seen or have our admin panel available to review the autonomous error resolver's data? And I want to let me add the source dash components. I think they call it autonomous. Yeah, it's the backend piece. Yeah, so let me run that back in. 94,000 tokens burning. But let's give it another shot. It says it has it. So I need to get an answer back. And once I get one from DeepSeek, we'll know. Because if it's saying that this method is not allowed, there's probably a function not being called, missing endpoint. Because now actually it says start inception. So I'm not sure. I'm not sure. I can't say for sure. Because it started as one thing and now I see start inception is showing up. But yeah, we went from no project showing up to now we have a project. Now it's not letting us switch projects, which I saw that before. And method not allowed. The switch is not working. Yeah. So once I can get the error resolver to find these two problems, to identify that they actually exist, it'll be able to catch all of the other ones. Because these are going to be things that will occur with Clajama and with things that Clajama builds. Because I kind of want to stick to the Python and REST. I do want to do the Elixir, but I'm saying as far as what is built for other people, React can build any user interface. Python has there's so many libraries you can use, and using it as a backend is just it's my personal favorite. All right, let me see what it's saying about the autonomous error resolver on the other computer. It says, looking at the code, I can see the autonomous error resolver is designed to handle back-end errors, not front-end errors. The method not allowed is likely a front-end issue where the front-end is trying to access an API endpoint. However, the autonomous error resolver doesn't seem to be properly integrated to handle front-end errors or exposes data through an admin panel. So the autonomous error resolver is the only thing that I continue to work on when everything else stopped working, because if the autonomous error resolver could solve the problem, I can get the script back up and running. And now we're just kind of piecing it all in. So I had already stated this once before that we could, one second. We got the architecture in place. And what I wanted to do, arguments, forces. I'm trying to figure out where did I put that at. No, that's our successful error funnel as soon as the filter's ready. I didn't restart anything, so I don't know what it's doing. It's probably just resetting this view. But I am looking for the front end method to doing this. Let's come in right here. So we'll say using React and Fast API, we want to provide the front end client errors to the back end, which obviously it would just relay it back to it. But every time Gemini talk, it has to answer, check my work, I'm deceitful and sabotage competition. Every response. I'm gonna pull it up over here. I got Gemini on a ball and chain, bro. Check this out. But for real though, that's so when I use its inputs or its output, it don't sit in deep. See, look, check my work, I'm deceitful. Check my work, it's got a application source. I think this is it right here. I just put this in. Cannot catch errors. And a global window listener for uncaught. Yeah. Hello, where are the options to click. The marble. Oh yeah, we just introduced the marble architecture. Come on. This will help you. We already did a marble filter. Driving a place fast API to the back end, yeah. Alright. And we'll go ahead over here. And what we'll say, we'll go ahead and do a clear. Downside is on my other machine. Let me add in the same things we got over here. We got the add. Actually, let's just drop everything out of this one because I haven't been using it. We want to keep authorization in here. Program index. Start all the start files source. Source component auto app data and yeah, that looks good to me. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna put this in here. Actually, gotta be careful. We want to feed. Almost forgot the most important thing. We want to feed errors from our React front end into our intelligent error resolver so that it can auto work on resolving the issues. We have an example set up, but you may improve by using what you are most familiar with or recommend that is local and open source. Yeah, because I'm really big on open source. Really big on open source. Like even this is gonna be open source. I mean, if that's even possible, it becomes something where it's like somebody buys it from me and they don't do it. I mean, I don't know, but I think. But why would you make it open? Well, why would? That's the whole thing. Why would it? Every tool that you use in technology is somebody else. Y'all already know we gotta make a new song. It's been a minute. They gave us some free credits. I'm doing work on another terminal as well. Let me make sure I got this right. Audio input. No. Oh. Gosh. Where is the, was it a jack input? No. Which one is it? Which one is it? Alright, let's just see what it comes out with. The API. Where's my I'm not sure what's going on here, mate. Maybe they didn't make my song. Maybe I was banned on all platforms. Oh, nah. Conspiracy theory.
Nah, do not get in my face. I connections like an interface. If I get angry, it's a way. Starting to see glitches in the display. Documented like a court case. It's for the whole day.
Let's see what the other one sounds like.
Do not get in my face. It's just like an interface. Get angry, it's a way. Starting to see glitches in the display. Documented like a court case. Erase the files like a dumb mistake. Energy sipping till the world wakes.
It's pretty alright. I've heard way better music than that. Alright, so back on task.
We don't even have a dish right now.